Ooh, hello there, my fellow scrap mechanics, and welcome back to Scar Industry here, where we built our beautiful garage and, of course, our vehicle. So we have our Flintstone car all set up and ready to go, and our land speeder from Star Wars. Now, in today's episode, we're going to work on a TIE fighter, and it is the Darth Vader one from New Hope, and I think it's called like the X1 TIE fighter, something along those lines. But that's what we're going to work on today. So, as you can see, we've got it all lined up and ready to go like we start all of our episodes. So this is 8 across by 6, and then we place the seat directly in the center, and that's what we're going to start to work on. So, first thing we're going to work on here is starting to build up our edges like this. We're going to place down blocks like so, and then we're just going to work them up in a nice fashion like this. We're probably going to go to about 4, but we're going to eyeball it before we finish. There we go. So this is 1, 2, 3. We're going to go up one more block like so. There we go. Looking good so far. Yeah, I think that's good so far. And then let's jump up here. Okay. And then from here, let's switch our orientation, and we'll probably bring that up to, let's just start out with about 3 blocks. Let's start with about 3 blocks like so. And we'll give that another eyeball just to kind of get a feeling of how it's going. I think that's going to work out. So then from here, we'll go boom and bam like so. And then we might change it at this point. This is kind of the deciding point if this is where we will start to work on it a little bit different. But I think we've got a good setup here so far. There we go. One more block. Come on. One more block. There you go. And then we'll work that across. Come on. Come on. There you go. All right. So let's jump down. Swoop over here. Nice, nice. I think that's going to be perfect. So look at that shape if you want. There you go. Look at that. Awesome. So now we're going to jump on over here, and I'm going to do the exact same design that I did over here on the backside, and I'll catch you in just a minute. Awesome. We got that all set up and ready to go now. So what we're going to do is we're going to swoop on over here and just start to kind of fill in all of the blank spots. Now, one thing I'm trying to figure out is the accent color that goes around the TIE fighter. Will I do it in something like this, a very bright white tile, or will I do it with something of a stone, which is a little bit of a lighter shade? So what do you guys like for the accent color that makes up kind of the lines of the TIE fighter? Do you like choice A, which is the stone on our left, and on our right-hand side, choice B, which is the white tile? Once we get a little farther in, I think you guys will be able to make a little bit better decision. But for now, I want you guys to be thinking about that. Okay, there we go. And then, of course, if you're building along with me, definitely let me know which one you did choose. There we go. Beautiful. And I'm going to swoop on down here. I'm going to do the lower one first. There we go. And bring that across there. And as you can see, we're slowly getting this all filled in and ready to go. And I think it'll be really fun to kind of drive a little TIE fighter around the map. I think that'll be really cool. There we go. I'm having fun, a lot of fun, like trying to recreate vehicles in this series. I think that's just something fun to try to, it's kind of challenging to try to take something and then recreate it. At least that's what we're trying to do for these couple little tutorial videos. And I think they're coming out okay. All right, wonderful. So now we got to figure out what we want to do. So I'm going to take the stone out for now. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to, this is the question. This is the question, my friends. This is where we make decisions. I think I'm going to start like this. Okay. I'm going to bring these pieces along there like that. As you can see, something like that. And then I'm going to jump over here once again. I'm going to bring those pieces like that. Wonderful. And then from here, I think I'm going to bring these outlines like this. Okay, make sure that's in the correct orientation. Beautiful. And then what we're doing, we're just getting the very basic outline of the cockpit set up. So as you can see, we're slowly kind of getting that roundish shape to it. It's a little difficult to get a perfect, nice round shape, but I think we'll do okay. We will do okay. There we go. And then bring these pieces out. And this is something that's kind of just trial and error. This is something that if you're building along, you can kind of find the right way you want to do it. There's not really any one particular way. So we're just kind of doing an inspired version of this particular vehicle. We might make a couple design choices that make it a little different from the one that you may see in the movie. Just trying different things, maybe even improve upon it a little bit. And there we go. I like that as our cockpit for now. I think that's a really good start and base. So of course, on the backside, we're going to work on that a little bit later because that is a little different design. All right, so we have to decide on how we're going to start to connect our wings. So we're in the side over here. So we have a spacing of 2 on either side and a spacing of 1 on the bottom. And then we just kind of bring these pieces out. Eventually we'll make this a lot more fancy by adding a little bit more tapered wings shaped. You know, it'll be a little bit wider coming down this way like that. But we'll get there eventually, my friends. We'll get there. All right, so we'll cut that piece out like that. And I think that's about thick as I want it. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course there's a spacing of 2 on either side. And there we go. That's looking good. So give me 1 second. Let me work on the other side and I'll be right back. And welcome back. So as you can see, I went ahead and worked on the wings. So I got kind of a good start to the wings. It's a very basic shapes and setup, but that's what we're going to work on now. So let's jump over here. And this is where we left off in our prior little part there. And as you can see, we left this at about 3. What we're going to do is we're just going to expand it by 1 more set. All right, we got that set up. So now we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so from this block right here, as you can see, we are going to bring this out 10 blocks. So there's 3, 4, 5. There we go. And then 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on, where's 10? There's 10. Awesome. All right, and then we can bring these down 3 blocks like so. And then let me move this. Is that as high as we can go? Ah, come on. There we go. Let's add another 3 blocks to this. There we go. Awesome. And now we can fill in this. And we can always double check to make sure that's symmetrical with the other side, but we'll do that in just a minute. Wonderful. And then we'll fill in this last little section over here. There we go. Awesome. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to count this out 15 blocks. So this actually extends out to about 16, I believe. Something along those lines, if you just bring it out to its maximum extension. So what we do now is you can just kind of see that, oh, okay, there we go. We just cut off 1 block and then we are symmetrical with this end over here. Wonderful. So then we can take this, swoop that across there and then bring this out. So this is the flat section of the wings. Let's clear out our scaffolding. There we go. And then we'll just raise this up just a little bit. There we go. So we want to create this pattern now, this indentation into the wings that angles inward. Okay, so we're going to try to accomplish that now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start to kind of make this pattern like so. So as you can see, we're going to have this wing come in like that. So we're going to have a spacing of 1 there. Then we're going to drop it down like that. And then we're going to bring out another one. There we go. Bring those down like that. Now it's very important, okay? Very important. You do not take out these blocks yet. These ones that are holding up the supports. All right, those are very important blocks. Don't want to take those out. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's jump over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and there we go. Let's work it on this side over here. We'll bring this across. There we go. Almost across. Oh, cut that piece out of there. Awesome. And then we'll bring this last one over here all the way across. And don't you guys wish we could have a really amazing new Star Wars game? Now, Battlefront 3, as you know, released in, what was that, November? And it was a decent game. It was a decent game. But it didn't really capture my imagination like a lot of, former Star Wars games back in the day. Oh boy, wouldn't you wish there was just an amazing Star Wars game? Like a new one, built kind of with like a narrative, a storyline. Oh, I just would love to have a new Star Wars game. And I assume there's got to be something in the pipeline. With Disney the way they are, and of course EA, I'm sure they're going to use that contract for something. Something's good's got to come of this, right? Seeing that Disney has given EA the full licensing to all, any Star Wars, game and things of that nature. And boy, I hope they're working on something. I really do hope they're working on something cool. I would love to see something along the lines of maybe even like an Uncharted style game again. I remember there was a game, I forgot the name of it, but it was, you were like a bounty hunter, like Boba Fett, of course, and you went around, or you may have been Boba Fett, I can't remember, but you went around and you collected contracts, you collected the bounties, and you went all over the place. There was a prison map in an asteroid. It was super cool. I wish we could get one of those games again. That would be really cool. All right, so as you can see, we've got that basic shape. Now let me finish this side over here, and I'll catch you in just a minute. All right, and welcome back. And as you can see, the wings are all set up. Now we're adding some decorative, stripes around the sides of the wings to give them a little bit more definition. Now, as you can see, I've done most of it along this section over here. Now I cut out quite a bit of it just because it's just, a lot of the, repetitive stuff. So that's why I want to cut out just a little bit of it. There we go. And then what we're going to do here, so as you can see, we're leaving a spacing of 2 on either side along there. And then right there, we're going to bring that all the way to there. Very, very cool. And then as you can see, we just kind of start to repeat our process going across there. Looking good, looking good. And if I can reach, there we go. Awesome. So then let me sneak on the back side over here. Now on this side, we're doing a spacing of 1. So as you can see, spacing of 1 on this side. And then bringing this all the way to there. Wonderful. So then bring these pieces all the way across. There we go. Looking good. And this just gives it a lot of extra visual interest and detail. So bring that across there. And one more block right there. Awesome. So yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. So let's jump over here. And then these pieces need to be connected. So I'm going to take these pieces all the way across there. So those are the interior sections. Now, as you can see, these are what was once holding up the TIE Fighter wings when we were trying to get them into this slant. It's the physics in the game that, you know, if we were to do that without those, they would just fall to the ground. Whereas in Minecraft or something along those lines with very, very, very limited physics, what is the only physics in Minecraft really the sand and the gravel? I think that really is. Maybe the anvil, I guess. The anvil falls. So very, very little. And this game, you know, doesn't have a ton, but it's got a little bit that you just have to kind of watch out for when you do, you know, those types of things. And there we go, looking good. So a few more little touches here or there, and we've got this set up. So a couple little blocks like that. And, you know, if you're building along, you know, just find what looks best for you and what you think looks good for your particular design. You know, you may be using tile or you might be using stone for these accents. Anything can really work. Anything can work, whatever you want. And let's jump through the back over here and check over here. And yeah, that is looking really good. So the next thing we need to start to work on now is getting the cockpit kind of organized in the back, because let's raise that up just a little bit and we'll sneak on down here. And I'm always thinking, you know, even an extra little block here and there might even look pretty good. So let's do that. Yeah, I like that quite a bit. Okay, so we'll have to do that once we go up to the top. This is going to be a little tricky. It's going to be a little tricky. Trying to get the cockpit in the back here to bow out the way we want it to. So to do this, in my opinion, let's see what we can do. Let's start actually just working with our stone or our metal grates. There we go. Start to kind of bring these blocks out. So we're kind of connecting them here and there. And then I'm going to bring these pieces up like that. And bring this one along there like that. And then just to start, so I'm connecting those to there, okay? And then I'm going to make a block here, here, and there. And continuing that to be all the way around. And I'm going to slowly make this kind of into a round shape, as you can see. So it's slowly kind of getting to that point. And then I think we can just continue to add more and more and more blocks to it to give it that little bit, you know, I'm just trying to, this shape that I'm showing you guys is a little difficult because you can't really see it in the movie. What it does is it kind of like fills in this whole back section. But I don't have my Star Wars toy from when I was a kid. It would have showed us perfectly how to do this, but unfortunately that's in a box somewhere. And we don't quite have that handy. All right, get that across there. Awesome, and then bring that down like that. Okay, so that's a good start. That's like a basic start. What I would like to do is continue to make this out wider, but looking at it at this point, what we can do is kind of take a departure from the actual design and incorporate a few of our own designs here where we could add thrusters and stuff like that to make it work within this world. So I think I'm going to go this way instead of that more flattened version that it actually is, and kind of go in our own direction at this point. From the actual TIE Fighter Interceptor or something along those lines. All right, so give me 1 second. Let me get some thrusters and all that stuff set up so we can make this thing drive, and I'll be right back. And welcome back. So over in this little section, I thought, why don't we take a break from making it drivable for a moment and just work on the supports on this side. As you can see, I've kind of worked on adding some more detail along there, and I would like to do it over here. So if I can get on the right orientation, now that we have so much built up, it's a little bit difficult to get into the right spot. So let's put these blocks along there, and we'll just work on the top. It's a little easier to access. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this go across here. I'm going to go about 2 blocks there, as you can see. I'm going to jump down here, now remove some of that scaffolding. And then over here, I'm going to make this come down about 2 more blocks like so. And then over in this section, I'm going to fill in, if I can get it in there in the right about spot. There we go. Awesome. So as you can see, we're just kind of filling in just like we did over there and getting that kind of looking good. Awesome. Okay. Next thing I want to do is make a windshield. Now, as you know, at the point of this game, there is no glass blocks. We don't have any great options for glass. So we kind of have to make do with what we have. So what I'm going to do is start to fill in these little sections along here. As you can see, there we go. And I'm just going to give the ever so slight hint of kind of a brighter, kind of a white, shiny thing, which you can kind of take as glass. So that's kind of the front. That'll be the design that we kind of go with a little bit for our, our little canopy glass thing. All right, looking good. So let's jump in our inventory. And where do they keep the shocks? Where do they keep the shocks? Or what do they call these things? Where are they? Oh, here we go, suspensions. What am I gonna go with? I think I'm gonna go with this one, okay? And then I'm going to jump down here and grab this guy. There we go. And now I'm gonna find a good spot for this. We might have to make a couple small modifications here or there to make this fit well. So why don't I go like this? There we go. So I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna put those like so, and I'm gonna stick these things along here like that. Okay, so that's a little bit off from the other side. What did we do different? What did we do different over here? I think that's actually the same. I just put it a little bit wider. Ah, okay, there we go. And then we can place these on top, and these are the blasters on the front of the device or the vehicle. So that is looking good. I think that is definitely making a good start. So let's jump in the back over here. So let's see what we got over here. So we left off over back here, and I'm just not 100% satisfied with what we have back here yet. What we can do in the meantime, until we really come up with the perfect design, let's just see what we can do about making some thrusters back here. So, what we could do is, set up some thrusters in a decent orientation. Eventually we need to put some wheels on this guy. There we go, because the weight of this craft, it's probably going to be a little too much to just kind of have it, slide on the ground. You can take things and have a kind of a hoverboard effect, if you will. But with this particular design, I think we might have a little too much weight to have that happen. So we will need to incorporate some wheels. So I think, how many thrusters do we have? We have 4 thrusters. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful. So I think that's probably going to be enough if we can get some wheels set up somewhere. At this point, we're starting to take a departure from, an actual vehicle and incorporating some, scrap mechanic items to make it drivable within the world. So what we need to think about now is getting some wheels set up on the bottom. So if you want a static vehicle, this is the static vehicle. But if you want it to be drivable, that's what we're going to work on now. All right, and welcome back. And as you can see, we're starting to get the tires set up and ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to sneak under here. We're going to raise that up just a little bit more. And we're going to place down our first Frisbee disc right there. And that's a spacing of 2 from that section right there. And then let me throw this on there like that. And then we're going to take our suspension and I'm going to move this up just a smidge bit more. All right. And then I'm going to place that right there, put that one there, and the big tire. Awesome. Okay, so next thing, we're going to go over here, same as before, except this time, we are going to not place that extra Frisbee disc up there. We're going to place this one here, one right there, and boom, there we go, looking good. So as you can see, I made a couple small modifications to the cockpit. So let's bring that down a little bit. I moved the phaser guys down wrong movie, but anyway, I'm gonna roll with it. So I moved down the phasers one click down. I think that looks a little bit better. And then I indented an extra couple little pieces here or there. So you can see I've added some ones over there and then pushed it out 2 more blocks right there. Just little modifications. And at this point, these are things that you guys can choose to do or, not do. Back here, I did add quite a few extra blocks. So I just kind of filled in extra blocks here and there because I wanted to create a little bit more weight for the back of the vehicle to even it up a little bit. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on the ramp and I'm going to bring it down a little lower. Okay. Then I'm going to go inside. Okay. Then I'm going to get off because it's actually really difficult to get in here. So to make this interior look a little cooler, we're going to put 2 engines back here. I think that looks cool. What I'm trying to do is just make it more of a cockpit. Add more detail back here, make it feel a little bit more like, there's machines and all that good stuff kind of going about. So, you know, you can come up with all sorts of cool and interesting ideas back here. So, you know, you can just fiddle around, you know, just put little doodads there and here. That's what I kind of want to do. You know, just put little details here and there to make it look more like, you know, controls and all that good stuff. You can even put suspensions here and there. Oh, this could even be like throttle over here. Yeah, you know, you could just get really creative with all this back here. You know, add little control panels here and there, all sorts of good stuff. Anyway, let's grab out our little plasma thing, or I'm thinking of the Ghostbusters. This thing reminds me of the Ghostbusters every time I pull it out. Okay, so I'm gonna put that right there, and I can't actually see the tires. You don't always have to put two engines. I just think it just looks cool. That's what we're kind of going with right now at the moment, is just trying to make things look kind of nice. All right, there we go. Hook those together like so. And now you might be asking yourself, Scar, how on earth are you gonna get out of here? So I'm gonna put a chair over there and I'm gonna get into it like that. That is the only way that I can find to get out of the vehicle. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is we are going to check to make sure these are in the right orientation. This one's not hooked up, so I'm just gonna hook this one up too. There we go. And then making sure everything is symmetrical. There we go. And then make sure that one's good. And let's make sure these are in the right drive orientations. There we go. Good. We are set, I think, my friend. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We lost one of our thrusters. Okay, well, I kind of got to put that back on. I don't know how that fell off. Oh, that's interesting. So let me put that back on there. Let's see. How are we actually going to get up there? We're going to have to take the scaffolding route. There we go. And hello. Somehow I must have destroyed this block back here, which I have no idea how that happened. Let's see. Let's put that right there. Swoop that across there. And then let's put our thruster back there. Awesome. And we'll connect that, reconnect that. So we need all the power we can possibly get. Okay. Now we'll clean that up. Come on, get out of here. You can just stay down there. All right. So we're getting in now. Come on. Come on. Get in there. I don't know how I'm going to get in here. Almost made it. We almost made it. Come on. Come on. We almost made it. One more hit. There we go. All right. And off we go in our TIE fighter. Haha, that's so cool. I think we are nearly ready to go. So let's give this to about there. Okay. I'm going to give this one a little more thruster. There we go. Awesome. And then in the interior, we can work on this a little bit later. It's not perfect, but I think it's good enough for today. And there we go. We have a fully functional TIE fighter rolling around the scrap mechanic world here in Scar Industries. And look at this thing. This thing's pretty good, actually. It drives pretty well. You know, I like this quite a bit. I think we got a good bit of thrusters. Now, of course, this does need a lot of power because it's heavy. Look at all that metal and all that crazy stuff. But for the most part, this thing is rolling like a charm. Look at that. Aha, that's a cool vehicle. Oh, I think we did pretty good today. So yeah, where can we take this? I wish we could shoot thrusters off the front. Oh my gosh, look at that guy in the front. Look at him, he's like, yeah. Haha, I love it. He is so proud inside that vehicle right now. Oh, that's great. I like that a lot. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, I love building things. It's just so much fun. All right, my friends. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode where we built a TIE fighter inspired by Darth Vader's very own TIE fighter. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And if you believe the video deserved a rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. And can we make it over this hill? Can we? Yes, we can. The TIE fighter can conquer any hill. Until next time, we'll see you later. Station. So you have your valves and all sorts of little drums full of fuel. Then you have some stored over here. And you can almost think of these as kind of valves, kind of, you know, opening and closing on top. And then you have like this little device to maybe hook up a